Something that I found interesting with the TED talk is how Marquez reused his characters. If a character would die, they would essentially be reincarnated with the same name and identical features and make the same mistakes as their past life. I thought that it was a great way of showing how difficult it is to escape our past mistakes. Another interesting thing from the video was how Marquez tied his history, or Colombia's history, into his story. He wrote history in his book almost identical to what happened, such as like the plantation massacre was shot for shot what happened in real life, just with the change of like it being a banana plantation. I think it helps teach people history because they read it without knowing context and they fill in the gaps later. He's making it more colorful for them to learn, and it's not as like harsh to read as they're going. And then they find out later, oh, this was actual something that happened. Something I found interesting from the interview was that he said nostalgia was his urge to write. Marquez says nostalgia of historical events he lived through or what helped him. Right. Marquez says that nostalgia of historical events he lived through are what helped him write his book, and I think that's why the historical events are so colorful. He says that there's not one single Latin culture, and that they are all intertwined. I think it's also how it works in the U.S. because we're such a diverse country. There may be some areas that are homogeneous, but the vast majority of the country is diverse, like these Latin cultures that he speaks of. A magical realism author from the U.S. is Toni Morrison. She wrote a book called Beloved, which is about a slave's runaway from a plantation with her family. The source I used to find that was Britannica. And if you watch this video, do you think that magical realism should be a more used writing style in the United States?